Hello. I wanted to show off a game I played with Wyatt and Foolian and Vailing. We were just doing some 2v2s for fun, like scrim-esque games, and I was on Foolian's team against Wyatt Vailing. Wyatt was lagging out a little bit, and I think Vailing was a little bit tired, so I don't want like this to affect, for some reason, anyone's reputation or anything weird. Um, these are pretty casual games, but I thought there would be something to be taught from it, something to be learned from it. So I'm in a VOD review. I've removed the comms so I can just focus on giving the information, the things that I see, and the things that I choose to do. And maybe you can take that information and implement it into your own game plan when you are playing 2v2s or even 3v3s. So yeah, this first game is on Crater. Um, yeah. So something I didn't do here was I didn't boost. Normally I boost my teammate, but instead I just decided to go for the ball. Um, yeah, that's a playstyle thing. A boost is just that you headbutt your teammate to give them speed at the start. So at the start of every game, I kind of want to choose. I kind of choose. I want to take control over one of the rabbit spawns. So I noticed Foolian already had our spawn. So I kind of went for Veiling and Wyatt spawn, and I messed up the momentum transfer, but that was okay. I decided after I messed up the momentum transfer, I just dropped the ball and contested the spawn, and this allowed me to like kind of control the dung on the map. I see Wyatt has two. I now have two, so it's not the end of the world. I'm immediately going to try and contest. I'm not going to take both dung. I took one out of the two that spawns there. That's because Veiling's behind me. I simply don't have enough time. If I stay there to take two pieces of dung, I'm gonna get a 4 size and I'm gonna get stolen from, and I'm not gonna get it back. Um, you know, Especially because I think Wyatt's playing Firefly this game. So you know, there's that like sense of ball control. Even if I did get a gold, it probably doesn't stick around. And this allows for my teammate and I to do a merge play. Um, This is also a good example of like how to play to keep your control over the ball. I think most players would go for this 1 size, because I mean naturally you want to get a bigger sized, you want to get more uh, size, and you see even why it actually does aim for me to go for this 1 size, but I just loop, and that throws both players off, and I'm able to get space and keep control over this dung and just go for the next one. Once again, only taking 1 size because I just don't have enough time. And now we get a rewind, and now we are in a, I guess what I would say, a goalie position. Um, Whenever you are, especially in twos, you always want somebody to kind of be playing in front of the attacker and somebody pressuring that attacker. So Foolian is right here pressuring Veiling, and I am playing in front of them. Here I hear the Firefly, so I dodge by just walking away, and Foolian's actually able to take control of the ball and leave and get a point there. Not many decisions I made there to kind of help with the game state other than my positioning. I very purposefully set up here because, Veiling's above me, so I want to be able to, if they fail, there's a spacing check when they're coming over here. There's kind of a range you're allowed to play at, and if they fail that spacing check, then I need to be able to headbutt butt them, and being up higher allows me to be more aggressive with making sure that they succeed that. But yeah, I'm also ready to jump down. Very important here. Um, I get ready to jump down, and I would have headbutt straight down here, and that would have just formed a wall for Veiling. Anyways, we go on to the next round. I think I boost Foolian here. I don't. It's definitely something I could have worked on. So right here, I want to follow up with Foolian, right? If Foolian gets stolen from, I want to be able to assist. I also just want to be on a relevant point of the map. The next spawn is going to be at their side, so I'm playing on their side of the map because there's not going to be really any other resources that are created. So I'm just keeping height so I can kind of play for anything. I know Foolian is pretty challenging them, so I'm going to try and collect this 2 size so me and Foolian can possibly go net or merge. Just kind of keeping control of the dung, making sure that the other team doesn't get anything. Fully emerges, I immediately see, if they do get possession over this ball, this is going to go right into our net. Even if Fully has possession right now, they might not keep possession, so I'm going to go and play in the net position. That ball gets cleared, so I'm immediately free to go back to collecting dung because I know there isn't enough dung on the map right now to create a gold ball. I don't need to be worried about a scoring threat. I hear the gold creation, I make sure that everything's okay. Here I'm prepared to stun. I'm actually not prepared to stun. So I guess that's a mistake that we can learn from, right? I think I should have been. I think I trusted that my teammate had control a little bit too much. I think here I should have immediately been getting ready to stun because I didn't know the situation. In fact, we can actually quickly listen into comms and see what that sounded like. One swap in the match.
I was in my old local.
The way
I
you
play
usually play
Rosalina,
it is that
and then
losers get a
someone
swap.
swapped a min-min.
No, wait. Oh my god, wait. No, I was literally playing Isabel, and my cousin comes up and goes, "Oh, you're Isabel. He's just make sure to do this, blah
Yeah,
blah
they're
blah
just
blah
talking
blah
about
blah blah."
Smash. That's very funny. But yeah, no communications, so no comms, so I should have assumed that something would go wrong. And that's a thing to learn from, especially in solo queue. You don't really know what your team is doing. Yeah, I'm getting fully in control because I would rather just play other parts of the map. So I'm going to focus on getting height and kind of keeping track of what the game state looks like. I know the spawn is going to be at our stump, and no one else is challenging it, so I'm going to play for it. I'm not going to leave now because no spawns has happened. I think I just want to play net here, and I go to merge with Foolian, which I end up doing so. This is an important regrab situation that we can learn from. So here Wyatt comes up, and they do put the Firefly ability on it, but mainly the worry here is that Wyatt is about to regrab. So what I do is I headbutt it away, and Wyatt fails the regrab. But if they did regrab here, the way that I would save this is just by grabbing again and just taking it away and immediately dropping it, moving it away from them. I always headbutt first because that is what's safe. Here, this is a positional check. This is just game sense. Vailing is playing Tiger, so you know that they're going to rewind back to where they were. Vailing's playing for the ball, so I'm prepared for the rewind. And a key detail is that I'm hitting the ball dead on in the center, because if you hit it at the top or the bottom it doesn't impact it as much. It doesn't go as far. At the top, you get boosted up into the middle of nowhere, and you're not able to stop it. And there's an example of that like grab drop that I was talking about a moment ago. I get possession of the ball and I immediately drop it while moving to push it away. And Foolian's able to play for it, get the regrab, and we're back into a situation of control. I see Foolian has possession. I'm keeping an eye on them. And they still have possession, so I'm going to now do some like yard work, I would call it. I'm just pushing balls outside of their average spawn location. So like, if someone were to come over and they'd look for a spawn, they wouldn't immediately find it where they maybe would expect. Taking this ball because, it's pretty much handed to me. I can maybe look for something here. I do have a deep momentum transfer, and Wyatt is out of position. So, if you get a ball handed to you on sideboard, you can definitely take it and make something out of it with a thruster. Don't be afraid to. All right, spawn is going to be at their stump. Let's see if I play for that. I assume that I will. Once again, I missed momentum transfer. I'm not going to get caught up with it. I'm going to play for the higher value ball. And once again, throwing it down to try and merge with my teammate. Sadly, the other team gets possession, but there's not much to be worried about. I, once again, rotate into the I would call it the goalie or the final stand position, ensuring that I am able to defend the net, and Foolian is meant to challenge. There's a snipe incoming, and I sadly miss it, but we are lucky and it bounces up. Rewind, always be ready for Tiger to be 3 steps of where you think they actually are. And I snipe here, and the reasoning I snipe here is because I know Wyatt is doing something, right? I see right here, Wyatt loops around to the center spawn, and has 2 there, there's 3 in front of our net, and I want to be able to defend both. So I snipe that, and I headbutt that. Wyatt gets stalled, and Foolian is able to click shot it in. A lot of that game was just me rotating in my proper position to be ready for whatever ends up happening. I think this one is me and Vailing are on the same team for this next one, so let's go to the start of this game. This is on Gambit, slightly different than Crater. A lot of them spawns are a lot more centralized, a lot more easy to get, so it's a lot more duels, a lot more engagements. You need to be winning. If you are taking a duel for a piece of dung, then you need to be winning that because that's like what Gambit is. It's just raw, like, can you win your engagements? There, I see Foolian gets a gold, and Vailing's able to score. So, not much to be learned from there. I did rotate into the goal, as I do play goalie, naturally. And then we see a good boost from Vailing, and we're able to take control of extra dung. So we have full control here, and we know that it's spawning at the other side. So what should be our goal with these 2 pieces of dung? Probably to merge eventually, but I don't think it needs to be merged right now. Keeping it split is kind of nice because we keep a lot of control. Go for an air stall. Don't really see anything happen from it, and Foolian is able to take possession. I see a potential merge play here, so naturally I'm going to stun one of the balls and make sure that they do not score. I play in the net position. Vailing has control. And I'm going to stay here, even if Vailing kind of looks like they have control, because I do not want to be caught out of position. Vailing and Wyatt are kind of doing some silly stuff. I'm kind of wanting to leave net, but I decide not to because I don't have my off-ball ability yet. Here I'm playing center, and I'm able to get possession, so I can try and make something happen here. We're going to try and set up a regrab, which we are able to actually get. It looks like that was, not very fair, but I drop the ball, I see the headbutt, and I regrab. Let's see what boosts come out. No boosts here. Once again, we're not playing really at our top of our top. We should be boosting, but we're not. I see Foolian here, so this is something that we can learn from. If you ever see someone coming for you, like, just going the other direction is really powerful in this game. Don't go in a straight line. I'm going in a straight line. I'm going in a straight line. I see Foolian is lined up to swoop in and take this ball. So I turn, right? And now I'm able to leave. And also, I haven't really been mentioning it, but take note of when I'm momentum transferring, right? Like, this is a bad one, but it does get me more speed. I'm momentum transferring just off a normal jump. Right here, I'm momentum transferring off the cards. You always want to be momentum transferring. If you have the ability to, speed is good, and that's how you get speed. I play for the steal. Wyatt overstays and, gets stolen from. We have a 4-size ball here. It's pretty important that I don't let this ball go anywhere because, it's a pretty strong size. I kind of just decide that I'm going to stay and I'm going to keep engaging with Wyatt and keep fighting for the ball that they're playing with. And I'm going to assume that Vailing is going to win their engagement with Foolian. So we kind of end up taking 2 1v1s. Here I see a gold being made, so I decide to play up. I think I calmed Vailing as well to like, hey, I'm going to play this, you swap. And sadly they don't win their engagement. But that's like, that's like just priorities. I notice that Foolian is about to make a gold ball, I'm in a better position to challenge this than Vailing is, so I'm the one who ends up challenging it. There's the boost coming out. Vailing's able to take the first piece. I wait for the regrab. I'm able to take the second piece. I'm trying to hit this away from Foolian. Sadly, I failed, but I am able to control the center, make sure I headbutt that. That's key. You know, when you are trying to control some spawns, don't be afraid just to headbutt in the general direction. If you hit your teammate, you boost them out of there. If you hit the opponent, like I did just there, you release the ball from their hands. So it's always a win-win if you just headbutt the spawn, right? And you can hit more dung with a headbutt than you can with a, you know, with anything else. Here, I think I tell Veiling to go net, maybe. No, we merged together. Whoopsies. Here I shoot into the net. I tell Veiling to go net. Sadly, it doesn't work out. Here, you can see Wyatt with the smaller size at the left and Foolian with a bigger size. So they could be going for a merge play. I would go back to net here. And that's exactly what I do. So I also need to prepare for Foolian here. Now, here's key. I think less experienced goalies would see this and they'd get prepared for a wrap around their net, like someone to wrap around the net. You just want to stay in between Idam and the net. Do not headbutt until it looks like that you can for sure hit something, and stall for time for your teammate to do whatever they're doing. Okay. This one I have Wyatt on my team. Let's start. Wyatt's back on Ladybugs, so they're gonna be a little bit more helpful naturally. So I like doing this on beach. I just like taking dung and removing it off the map. The reason why I like doing this is because, beach is a very, side favored map where you have, let me use this. Let's see if I look down. Okay, well, we'll use this. So, right, on beach, you have dung that spawns here, you have dung that spawns here, you have one spawn here. And it's mirrored, right? It is the same back. Same thing, but it's mirrored. So this gets 2, this gets 2, this gets 1. And same thing back here. Over here, this gets 2, and this gets 3 total, right? Because this one is a 1, this one's a 2, that equals 3. So what do I mean when I say it's a favored map? What I mean by that is that, there's no dung spawns in the center of the map. The center of the map has 0 dung spawns. That means that if you're making a ball, it's going to be either on this side of the map or this side of the map. And, you know, it will then traverse to the other side. Or it will stay on the side it's created. If it stays on the side it's created, then it's, the other team creating a dungle at your net. That's the worst case scenario, right? You have a lot less time to prepare if the other team creates a gold ball near your net. So I'm going to clear out the 2 sides, right? I'm going to clear out the 2 sides. I'm going to clear out the 3 sides, and that leaves 5 on their side. There's 2 at the start, so let's say they take the 2 and then they go over here and they get this 2. They now have 4 total. If they then go to traverse, well, now there's no more dung. I've gotten rid of the spawns on my side. Right. So that's why I like throwing away dung on beach specifically. American, and they didn't do their quote unquote yard work. So here, even if I didn't get merged from Foolian, I could have merged off this one size. So this also like I just don't dodge here because I know I have enough speed to make it away from Veiling. I went a little far. So here I'm like, I know Veiling just TP'd to me. They're flying down, and I know they're kind of gonna end around here. So I just have enough speed to get away from them. Now it's just like, can I outplay Veiling to get past them and then make a shot on that? And can I outplay Foolian to get the ball in? I decide no. I decide I cannot. And why do I do that? It's because the rabbit. The rabbit's here. And the rabbit has already made at least one round. So what does that mean? It means it has gone over here. It's hopped over to this side. It went and it spawned 3 here and 2 here. What does that equal? That equals 5, which is a gold ball, which we can see right here why on their end of the map has made. So if I keep this ball and these two keep trying to play against me, then Wyatt will just have a free entry into their goal. So I'm gonna buy some time. I'm gonna wait it out, and I see them both turn to Wyatt, and I immediately go to make a shot on that because if they stop Wyatt, they might not stop me. Let me score. All right, and you might notice this thing that I do. On every single map, I will immediately get height. I always look for height. Um, the reason why I do this is because gliding is fast and walking is slow. So you want to be high up so you can make decisions. It kind of just increases your tempo by a little bit. I have no more headbutts since I've headbutt 3 times, which I think I forget, actually. Yeah, I tried to headbutt there. Wyatt's able to take control. I'm not trying to steal from Wyatt. Wyatt is an amazing player individually, so I trust for them to do that. Here, I just try to take whatever I can and throw it away. Same logic as earlier. We don't want balls on our side of the net. I see why it's like out in the middle of nowhere, and I can imagine that if Wyatt's a ladybug, Foolian's a clickbug. If Foolian gets control, Wyatt's going to regrab it, and they can make the decision to throw away the dung ball. So I'm going to now go on the offensive. I'm going to challenge Veiling. I'm going to take a 1-on-1 with Veiling. See a gold ball. They do the throw. I use my stun, and I'm able to take it from them. Yeah, but Wyatt scores, so it doesn't matter. But that's a game sense thing to be learned from. I take my 1 with Veiling, and I can trust Wyatt to take their 1. All right. So I get a 1 size here. I don't discard. It is the rabbit is going to start on the loser side and move its way to the winner's side. So it starts over there, spawns 2. This is also something important to recognize on beach, right? On my side, oh, this isn't a good place to pause. Let's pause here. Right now, the rabbit is spawning. Move this over here. The rabbit is spawning here, and it's gonna spawn 2. We got 2 from the start to here. This equals 4. Not enough to make a diamond to make a gold. I'm gonna hop here, and it's gonna spawn 2. That means, technically, if all of these were merged, we would get 6. That's 5. It makes a 5 size dung ball, right? It's going to spawn 1, and then it's going to spawn 2. So let's say a player grabs the 2 that starts here. They move over here. They grab these 2. But they have 4. If I stay at my side, the winner's side, or whichever side is going to get the 5 spawn, you can just collect all of these and make 5. So the winner side, or side that's spawning 5 dung, is always the more impactful side to play on. Here's Wyatt ball chasing my ball, even though they're on my team. Classic Wyatt. I see that they're doing that. I trust Wyatt. I know for a fact that Wyatt has a 4. There's no other dung on this side of the map, so I'm going to fight Foolian for it because it's their only chance to score. Here I see Vailing. I'm immediately going to position between me and the net. I, for some reason, forget which tunnel because it looks so deceiving. Whoops. It looks so deceiving, right? We see Wyatt is over here, and they went in the right tunnel, so like maybe it loops into and goes up here. It doesn't. It just stays on the side it was. So I'm asking Wyatt which side they went in because I thought I saw them go in the right. Wyatt Wyatt does have an amazing comm that I'd love to listen in on, right here.
Exactly.
No, I don't believe it. It must have been AI.
I'm noticing almost every.
Yeah, because
I
you
don't
play
know.
like a nerd. Insecure play. Never give up ball control.
Veiling is
Up ball
running
control. It's making
round
Which
in the
wait, which tunnel?
tunnels.
Which tunnel?
The tunnel one.
So Wyatt gives me an amazing call out that it is in the tunnel one. Hey, that's so not helpful. Did you go in from the left or the right, Wyatt?
I'm also on offense, by the way. Oh wait.
It's just crazy
Get
how
the
the
hell out of
information I
here.
got was the tunnel one. An amazing call by Wyatt. Stacked audio track too. All right. I get one size, Wyatt gets the other one size. So we control two dung. It's always nice to get the 2 spawn, because that means you only need to get the 3 spawn. You don't need to wait for the loop around of the rabbit, if you know what I mean. And keep up my speed, make sure I'm always momentum transferring. I get the first 2 size, I get this 1 size, and I'm going to go up to avoid Veiling. I do not want to give Veiling control over this ball. In fact, I'm going to make sure that I'm either doing extra deep momentum transfers or very shallow momentum transfers because on how Tiger Beetle works. I go net here because there's a chance that Wyatt merges with me, but I get stopped. I go back net because there's a chance that Wyatt gets control, but they don't. Shoot that, and I trust Wyatt to win their 1v1 with the ball frozen. I go back to net because I heard a second one. I see Foolian on the right. I need to trust Wyatt to win theirs, so I challenge Foolian. Now, it gets very scary if... Oh, okay, actually, this is a great lesson. This is a lesson with spacing. So you see, Foolian is trying to bait something out. They're just kind of sitting in front of me. If I headbutt prematurely, then it's pretty bad. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to wait. I'm going to walk extra close, and I'm going to headbutt them. That's just like, they failed their spacing check. I'm not going to fall for anything other than them going into my net. And I'm going to help stop it. There I failed every grab, but luckily my teammate's there to save me. It's just about, like, you don't fall for any shenanigans. I don't have stun, but Wyatt's able to save it. I should probably stun here, but I don't. Once again, I'm just playing Final Stand. I am in my net. Wyatt can control the ball however they can, but I'm going to make sure it does not enter the net under no circumstance. When he comes here, I'm ready for a click shot because that's what their character does. They don't do it. I see Veiling is trying to take dung here. I'm going to throw it off the map. Sadly, Tiger Beetle has an ability to say no. And Wyatt is sadly a little bit out of position, but Foolian shoots early. Something to be learned here. Imagine a world where Foolian waits before they shoot. Instead of shooting here, they wait a couple more seconds, and Veiling is around the corner. I can't defend both, and they actually get a goal. I shoot Veiling so I can go back to focusing on Foolian. I can trust Wyatt to get control because it's out of a stun. They can normally take control like that. I'm still keeping a tab on both. Make sure Foolian doesn't get in. I'm just focusing on stalling Foolian out. I headbutt prematurely, but it's okay. Nothing is in play. Still failing. Here there's 2 coming in, and sadly, there's no way that you can stop both. I see that Vailing's gonna create a gold. I'm worried, so I just stun it. I have a dung side, like I have dung in front of their goal, so I'm just gonna let Wyatt handle it. I haven't heard a goal be created, so I'm not really worried. Shoot mine away, try and steal Veiling and shoot theirs away. They're gonna rewind, so you're gonna turn around and stop that. Tiger Beetle, you always have to be ready for the rewind. Biggest thing against defending against Tiger Beetle. Here, I'm trying to kind of play close to Veiling because I want to. I miss, but I want to. The reason why I'm playing close is because I don't want to give them space to do whatever they want. Tiger can put a gold ball above the net and put it there, and then come down, TP, and then rewind. It's like some shenanigans. So I'm trying to stop that, but sadly I headbutt a little bit too prematurely here. I should have held my headbutt and fluttered and just kept the space, because when I commit and I use a cooldown, then they're able to do something right. And yeah, that's the third game. So I hope this was interesting or helpful at all. And thank you for watching.